It is Eastern time here in near Twinsburg, Ohio, adjacent to Cleveland, Ohio. And our next guest is a little bit further west. He's one of the driving forces behind the sports card and memorabilia show of Lubbock, a fast-growing regional event that's become a true anchor for collectors across West Texas. Jacob Garcia has built a reputation for running a well-organized, community-focused show that brings together dealers, collectors, and families across the region. His work has helped strengthen the Lubbock hobby scene, expand opportunities for local vendors, and create a consistent, reliable show experience in a part of the country where the hobby is growing really fast. He's a connector, a promoter, and a key voice in West Texas, the collecting community down there, and we're excited to have him with us tonight. Please welcome Jacob Garcia.
How's it going?
Good, Jacob. Sorry about that.
No,
our
you're
little mistake
fine.
with the time zone. Hey, but before we get into this, you're not going to know this, but Jeremy will know this. Cleveland, Ohio has a little bit of a connection to Lubbock, Texas. If Jeremy remembers, we had a player named Craig Elo who hit a game-winning buzzer beater against the Utah Jazz. Nothing to do with Texas, but the voice of the Cleveland Cavaliers, Joe Tate, enunciated that it was what did exactly he say? Yes, Virginia, there is a Santa Claus, and he comes from Lubbock, Texas.
Yeah.
Craig Elo from Lubbock, Texas, hit a shot. So
Yeah,
Cleveland
he
fans
actually
are
went to
now.
Monterey High School.
Yeah. So
Thank you for
know
not
Craig
talking
Elo.
about the other thing that happened to Craig Elo.
Yeah, we don't know anything about that.
With the shot going upside down again. So,
but listen, thanks for joining us. We appreciate it. Look forward to talking to you a little bit here about your show that's coming up here. The YWCA show in Lubbock. Give us kind of a little bit of insight. What can people expect when they come to your show?
Yeah. First off, like I said, we have over 200 tables. We've been established in 2017 and been rolling since then. Started off a little smaller, and it's kind of grown into what it is now with the hobby and the market the way it is booming right now. It's been good. From sports cards, memorabilia, of course, all the TCG stuff. You can't go without that. You know what I mean? That you got all the Pokemon, the One Piece, the Yu-Gi-Oh, Dragon Ball Z, all that stuff going right now. And then we got a few unique collectibles, Hot Wheels, stuff like that. So we got a few of stuff like that. But yeah, for the most part, it's vendors from all over the area, not just local in the West Texas area. We get a lot of people that actually come traveling quite a ways, 8, 10-hour, 12-hour drives. A few people that fly in and stuff like that as well.
Jacob, West Texas has a unique collecting community. What sets it apart? What are people collecting down there, and what's driving the market?
Right now, it's a little bit of everything. Of course, everywhere you go right now in the hobby, you see a lot of the case hits are hit right now. Everybody's chasing the case hits. Your downtowns, your kabooms, all that stuff like that. But of course, we got a lot of like myself that do a lot of older stuff, the 90s inserts, the stuff like that that's really going right now strong. A lot of the I don't want to say vintage, but the 90s, early 2000s stuff. And then even like you got your Tom Brady stuff, rookie stuff, Kobe Bryant stuff, all the 90s and stuff like that, all your raves and all the minsters, grand finales, all that stuff that's booming right now. So a little bit of everything. And of course, like I mentioned earlier, the TCG stuff right now is going crazy, with all the new sets and everything going right now.
Let's talk about that 90s craze, because like you, that is something that I'm pretty passionate about. I know a lot about it. I dig through boxes to find those, like the grand finales. You mentioned that. I can go to a show and maybe 2 other people know what a grand finale is at a card show.
Right.
What do you think that is? Why are people so hip to now the 90s inserts? What's bringing that back?
It's funny you say that. We touched upon that a couple of days ago. A couple of my buddies here locally. We have a term that my son uses. We'll go to a show or something, or anyway, even at our show here, or any kind of title show. And not to ramble on, but a lot of times my son's like, "Hey, Dad, you got to go see this guy stuff. He has dad stuff, and kind of telling me it's old man stuff. But he knows what that stuff is now. Hey, Dad, you got to go. This guy has a Brilliance 24 karat. This guy has a rave review or super rave, or this guy has the grand finales. I think it's awesome to see even the younger generation dabbling in that now. Like, it's really, really cool seeing, even a lot of influencers, stuff like that, they're bringing out a lot of the PMGs from the 90s. You're seeing a lot of that's really, really cool. A lot of that unique stuff that you don't see very often. And like you said, a lot of people don't know what that is. But getting to see. It's getting a lot of love now, and it's really really cool. You know, the Top Gold labels, all that stuff, man. It's really really cool.
It is. You know, I touched on it earlier in the show. I was at a show in Shipshewana, Indiana last week, and I saw a lot of the younger guys who are buying for the whatnot streams or for the repacks, just with stacks of Jordan cards with their post-it notes, right? So, you know, it wasn't just the case hits or it wasn't just the new Jackson darts. They were buying Jordan cards by the stacks.
Right. And that's the thing, is that it's like I said, it's awesome to see. It's like I said, you can never go wrong. Of course, everybody wants the case hits and all the kabooms and you know, the uptowns and all that stuff. All that stuff is really really cool. You got to love the stuff and all the new stuff that's coming out. But seeing that old stuff, man, and seeing those old collections and seeing them still come with the screw downs, not even like magnetics, stuff that's been tucked away for a long 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 time, is really really awesome to see. It's getting the love that it really deserves, because that stuff, even seeing, I had a big man on court, Jordan Z Pete, not too long ago, and talking to my son's 14, and tell him, man, you know, the odds on this thing, I can't remember the exact odds, but it was like 1 per 55,000 pack or something. I said, and so this was way beyond a case hit, you know what I mean? So the way the odds on pulling some of this stuff back in the day was really really, you know, crazy.
Jacob, what's your approach to laying out a show? Do you prefer to divide up vendors by section, maybe TCG sports, or do you like an experience where people have to navigate the floor and find what they're looking for?
As far as, you cut out there for a second, but as far as navigation, you know, I kind of like to give a whole look for myself. I don't know if you're meaning for, like, for myself when I approach a show, or for our show here in town, but
For your
um,
show? Yeah, for
okay, for our show, it's we have it mixed up. You know, a lot of times, there's some shows or some people preference to have them, you know, organized, or the way to go find stuff, you know, kind of separate stuff like that. But for our show, we kind of have it a mixture, stuff like that. Sometimes it has to be that way, because you got a lot of, even the old, you know, the old school sports vendors, or even the newcomers. They're dabbling in both now, so it's hard to say, hey, we're going to divide the TCG guys and the sports guys and stuff like that. So it's all scattered around, and we've had vendors that have been with us for 7 plus years, and so they have their same spots that they've had for this since day one. Haven't missed the show since then. So
Let's talk about that since day one. When you first started this show, how,
Mhm.
have you always been in the same place? Has it moved? Has it grown? Tell us how it started and kind of how you got to where we got to 200 tables.
absolutely. So we used to be, our very first show was October 2017. We started at a hotel. And a hotel was at MCM Elegante Hotel and Suites Hotel, here in Lubbock, Texas. And we started off, our first show, I believe, had 27 tables. And gradually from there, that was the only show that we had. After that, it moved to like 40, and then it moved to like 60, and then it went on from there. The last show that we've had, this is going to be our second time at the YWCA, because we needed a bigger venue, and it was ongoing. We had a wait list for like a year straight of, you know, 20 to 30 vendors trying to get in, and so it was like, man, I got to find something bigger. I got to find something bigger, and we landed this place, and they've been great. Everything about it is amazing. The lighting's amazing. The layout, it's a newly remodeled building. And yeah, we had our first show there in February, and it was an amazing turnout. You know, even the attendees, we over doubled our attendance. We broke our attendance record by double. Our first time we've ever had maxed. So it was really, really good.
As a show promoter, when you're in it, you're in it. Things are a blur while the event's taking place, and you're making things happen. You started with 27 tables. You've 10x that, going to 200. Have you had a moment or two along the way where you've been able to step back and say, "Wow, this is really humming"?
Absolutely. It happens all the time. It's something that I've been blessed, and I say it in a humble way. Um, Getting to where it's at now, and even now with, you know, breaking the 200, and I maxed out the space that we have now, and still having a time to where I still have a wait list again. And like I said, I'm blessed and I'm humble and fortunate enough that we've gotten to that point. But yeah, sitting back and watching it grow and see the way it's grown, um, organically, you know what I mean? It's the word of mouth. I'm You know, we have the social media, we have all three platforms that we actually use, you know, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and it's grown with the word of mouth and people reaching out. And a lot of this I've grown some relationships. I've known some of the guys, some of the vendors that I have, 20 plus years. So having that relationship with them has been great, and just seeing it grow, man, it's been something that I'm really, really proud. And I couldn't have done it with everybody that comes out, whether it's vendors or attendees that have been loyal and showed support over the past, 9 years now. So
Yeah, that's fantastic. We Jeremy and I talk a lot about the exact same thing that really you just mentioned, and we kind of look to things now. What's going to happen? Have you ever are you thinking 2027, 2028? Like what's next for the show in Lubbock?
yeah, that crosses my mind a lot too. A lot of times people are like, "Hey, man, you're probably gonna need a bigger place. You're gonna need," and it's, I haven't thought that far yet. I'm just enjoying the ride that we're at now, and the market right now. The market right now is in full effect and it's booming. So just kind of seeing where it's at and just rolling with the punches right now, going with the flow, and just enjoying it and taking it all in as it goes right now.
Event planning is such a weird human experience because you have to be present to take care of your stakeholders, but your mind needs to be thinking 6 months, 9 months, 12 months down the
Right,
line. So,
right.
what's the most surprising thing along the way? What surprised you from as this thing has grown and the hobby's exploded? What really stands out to you?
Um, I guess all around everything, seeing the feedback and seeing, as far as the show, it's just seeing the feedback and the love and the support that we've gotten. It's been something it's amazing, to see that. I didn't, little old Lubbock, Texas. Lubbock is growing. Texas Tech, we got Tech here, everything like that, and it's growing. We got a population of about 300,000, roughly around there. Um, and to see it grow to what it is now, and seeing people, um, ha- having confidence, of coming down to West Texas and stuff like that. We don't have a major airport, stuff like that, but we still get a lot of attendees that come out and people that show support, and it's been awesome, man. Uh, I say it in a humble way. I'm really thankful.
I know there's different teams in Texas, but is the Wemby craze all over the state?
Absolutely, you can. I mean, I hadn't met a person yet that just does dislike Wimby here in Texas. The Wimby crazy. You got to be on the train, man. It's
Hmm,
I'm personally a Rockets fan, but you got to like Wimby, man.
yeah. So Lubbock, is that Texas Tech? Is
Texas
that
Tech.
is Bobby Knight still kind of revered a little bit down there?
Bobby Knight, yeah, Bobby Knight's. He still gets a lot of love here. Of course, but you start thinking like Mahomes. You got the Zach Thomases, and you got
Right.
we get a lot of love from Texas Tech still right now. Even our softball team right now is doing well. We got Josh Young, for the Texas Rangers. And there's been Jacob Rodriguez just got drafted to the Miami Dolphins this year. So we got a lot of love and there's a lot of support, that we Lubbock for sure supports their athletes here for sure.
Fantastic.
If somebody's coming to Lubbock for the first time or your show for the first time, what's one thing they should not miss?
Um, that's hard to say. Being a
Two
West Texas
things.
boy, what's that again?
Two
Two
things.
things.
Two things. We have, I guess you could say, a couple. Um, Downtown's pretty solid. We have it's not a crazy downtown. You're not gonna be looking like Dallas downtown, anything like that. But we have a downtown's pretty fun. That's kind of the scene you're looking for. And also we got some amazing restaurants, some mom and pop restaurants here and stuff like that too that are really, really, really cool. Aside from campus.
Well, before we let you go, and we appreciate it. What are the actual social media handles that people can follow and check out your show if they happen to be in the area?
Absolutely. Lubbock Sports Card Show. You can actually find us um, on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. We're all over there. Luckily, we just hit a little over. Combined with all three, we've hit a little over 10,000 followers now. So it's been good. We post everything, any updates for future dates, anything like that, and we try to kind of stay on top of any new news, anything like that that pops out. Um, any big sales on cards and everything. Not just regarding the show, but we tend to stay up and put out any cool news that pops up in the hobby and the card market world for sure.
So we know the show's Saturday, Sunday. How often do you do the show?
We do 4 shows a year. We try to make them as quarterly as possible. Of course, it doesn't always align right to date, right at the 3 months. But we try to space them out every 3 months. And yeah, it works out pretty good. There's a lot. Of course, you got a lot of people that say, "Man, you never thought about doing more. You never thought about doing more." But it's worked out just fine. And for the 4, I think it's kind of pretty reasonable for our West Texas town. I think it does really well.
Awesome. Well, Jacob, thank you so much for joining us here on Green Sports Cars Live, and best of luck to you this weekend and your continued growth in the hobby.
Absolutely. I appreciate you having me on. Thanks again, and look forward to hearing from you guys again.
If we ever make it down there, we'll make sure it's during one of your shows.
Absolutely. For sure. Please do so.
Thanks, Jacob. We appreciate it. Good luck this weekend.
Thank you, sir. Y'all have a good one.
Yep. See ya.